welcome to Movie Magic 96, your one-stop shop for all things movies. From reviews to unboxings and collections, I'm here to celebrate the magic of cinema. Now, let's roll the film. In today's video, I'll be sharing my recent experience at Monster Mania 64 in Cherry Hill, New Jersey at the Doubletree Hilton. I didn't end up taking many videos because they basically had the same vendors from the March show, so go ahead and check out that video if you want a more deep dive. But stick around to the end of the video to hear my experience meeting celebrities and other convention goers. Alright, let's check it out. So first off, I love the hotel that this convention takes place at. This is my second time visiting. I also went in March, but I mean, they just do a great job. It's a beautiful hotel. The lobby is great, wide open spaces for you to sit and relax, grab food. I love how the vendors are broken up into two different places, as well as the celebrities, so it doesn't seem way too crowded in one room. So they opened at 10 a.m. And I got there an hour early at 9 a.m. just so I can get parking and get in line for David Arquette because I thought his line would be big. And basically it was funny when I was walking in, that line that you saw in the beginning was only for Hopper from Stranger Things, David Harbour. And so yeah, I got there and got in line to get into the, I forget the name of the, I think it was like the gallery room or something like that. Basically when you walk in and get your wristband, it's the first room on the right in between the restaurant and like elevators and stuff like that. So I got in line, it was like the fourth or fifth person in line. And then the line, as the before the convention started at 10 a.m., started to wrap around the lobby. It got a lot longer, but I was the first person to meet David Arquette. So the first two people I believe were meeting Jasmine from Scream 5 and 6, and she definitely had a long line as well and was super nice. She even had her dog with her, which was cute. But yeah, so I was the first person to meet David Arquette. And he was, thank God he was on time. Walked into the room, and then once the line formed, he came right down from his hotel, and it was a very quick interaction. He was $100 for a combo, and I have my Scream poster, Scream 1996, and I had Roger Jackson sign it from the voice of Ghostface from the March convention show. So I'm trying to get as many Scream people as I can, slowly but surely. But so I brought that poster, folded it up instead of rolling it, and I asked, very nicely, if it could be a one of the paint pens, because the Sharpies don't look as good. They smear a little bit, so the paint pens definitely stand out. I asked for the color blue. I don't know why I wanted that one, but just something different from the red, which you'll see when I insert a picture here. And it was very, very quick interaction, but he was very nice. He walked by, shook my hand, asked my name, and great experience, but again, very quick, like maybe minute and a half or something, which makes sense. He's got a long line and has to meet a lot of people and stuff like that. But yeah, he was nice, and that was the first one. And then I walked around that room, because that room had a line, so you had to you couldn't just walk in like the Riverside Pavilion room and kind of browse and stuff like that. So like you saw in the beginning of this video, I have pictures of Jasmine was there right on time, and Michael was not there, but I saw him at Chiller Theater a couple months ago. And I'm trying to think who else was in that room. There were a couple other people that, Edward Furlong, which I've never seen before. His sign was there, but he wasn't there at the time that I was in there. So that was the first one. I walked back to my car because I didn't want to carry the large Scream poster all around. Threw that in the car, and then I went to the Riverside Pavilion, which is the bigger room with the celebrities. And as you can see, I met Derek Mears. I definitely wanted to meet him, and I actually told him a story. He was super, super, super nice. Definitely the nicest person at this convention that I met so far. And yeah, so basically his interaction was, his line was pretty short, and that was about like 10, 15, 10, 20 or something like that. And but the people in front of me, everyone got ample time to tell them about their stories and stuff like that. So he was really nice. And it was funny, the people in front of me got, they had a yellow paint pen that they used for an autograph. And I was like, oh, that looks cool. I'm going to use that one too. I always think of way too many combinations. I'm staring at the, what do you call it? I'm staring at the pictures on the table, and I have to like narrow it down. I'm like, okay, I know I want a Friday the 13th picture, but there was like 3 of them that looked cool, and which one should I get? And that's what I'm thinking before I'm even thinking about like what I'm going to say to the celebrities or the guests. So, yeah, so I picked out a picture, and I got to meet him, and I'm always nervous. I really wish I wasn't, but I didn't know what to say, and just like, hey, my name's Adam. I have to tell you a story real quick. And usually I don't know what to say, or I don't tell them a story because I don't want to bother them. But I said when Friday the 13th, the remake came out in 2009, I was 13 years old, and that was actually the first one I remember seeing. So just such a cool memory he was Jason, and I think everyone can agree that he was an amazing Jason. He's obviously super tall, super jacked, and the running aspect of it. Some people may not like that he kept a hostage and stuff like that, and I pretty much loved everything that they did with that movie. I think it's one of the best remakes. Next to that and Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3 are the two best remakes of that era, better than Halloween and Nightmare on Elm Street for sure. And I just said, yeah, I loved his portrayal. And I think I asked if you, I was like, did you come up with that idea, or was that in the script saying that he would be running and be faster and stuff like that? And he said it was a little bit of both. I can't remember exactly what he said, but he wanted that sort of like animalistic, strong, fast, scary type of guy. And it wasn't, he wasn't putting down the older films, but he was saying that, if you look at the second film, he's definitely a lot slower, definitely a lot smaller from part two, Sackhead Jason, and part three is when he gets big, he starts to get bigger and bigger shoulders and stuff like that, bigger head. But yeah, and then I was wearing my Friday the 13th Blairstown Diner shirt when I went to that event. And I told him that I went to that event and it was a lot of fun and stuff like that, and going back and obviously watching all the movies and stuff. And he was super appreciative to say that, like, when I was younger and 13 years old and I couldn't watch the film in the theaters, that I watched it, on, I probably would have been on DVD or something like that. I'm not 100% sure. Because again, I was scared of horror movies back in the day. But yeah, again, he was super nice, super accommodating, and he's been in so many other things too, Swamp Thing and like Cursed and stuff that you might not know because he's covered in makeup and stuff like that, and like The Hills Have Eyes too or something like that. And definitely the best price of the day. He was $60 for an autograph, and selfies were included, that's amazing. I mean, this guy played Jason. You have to meet him, and selfies are never included anymore. So that was awesome. And then we went ahead and took a picture, and that was it. So those are the two celebrity meetings. So I wanted to do a shout out really quick. I go to the conventions a lot of the times by myself, and usually I'm super quiet and keep to myself and stuff like that. And obviously, as you can see, wearing the hat and the sunglasses, I'm usually not one who wants to be bothered. It's not the word, but just with anxiety and all that stuff, it's hard for me to introduce myself to people and stuff like that, which I have to break out of my shell. But long story short, what I love about these conventions is you always end up running into somebody who's just nice, and you have these great not fan interactions, but these great, you meet friends and stuff like that. So long story short, I was sitting in the lobby, and I had my, again, my Friday the 13th Blairstown t-shirt, which was exclusive to that event. And when I was sitting down, someone stopped me and said, basically, like, where'd you get the t-shirt? And we spoke about the event that I went to. He ended up being from Pennsylvania, I think Pittsburgh specifically. And it's just so cool how you meet these people from these events that, hopefully you run into the next time and have these great interactions. And it kills time. I was just, taking a rest for a little bit before I went back at it at the convention. And yeah, so long story short, his name is, I'm going to give you his Instagram. His name is fleck.jeffrey, and he was the father to fleck.noah. And both of them were super nice. Jeffrey was, he was great. We talked about everything. We talked about not just horror stuff. We talked about like toys and collectibles. We talked about conventions that the Monroeville Mall, that I think unfortunately they're going to be tearing down, which is a little bit closer to him than it is for me in New Jersey. And talked with his son as well, and they go to a bunch of conventions. I was super jealous. They go to I think they went to one in Kentucky recently, and all over the place. But again, he started the conversation all over a t-shirt, and I go back in my brain, and I was like, it was between wearing a Scream t-shirt, because I was obviously going to meet David Arquette, or the Jason t-shirt because I was meeting Derek Mears. But I'm so glad I wore that one. And he stopped me, and of course I plugged my channel. I was like, hey, what's your Instagram and stuff like that. And we took a picture together, and it was really great. It was a great conversation. And again, this is what it's all about. Just it's very hard, at least for me, in the day-to-day, just walking around wherever you're going to, if you're going out to eat dinner, or going to anything that's not like a like this, like a sanctioned event or something like that, you find, I don't know what the word is, you find camaraderie or something in stuff that you like. So if you're walking around just casually at a Walmart or something like that, and somebody has a horror t-shirt or somebody has a band that you like or something, you're like, you kind of feel like safer, if that makes sense. And it's cool that you're like, oh, someone actually, it's like validation, like someone actually likes the same thing that I do or whatever. So being in a place where everybody has people have tattoos and are allowed to be whatever they want to be, cosplay and stuff like that. It's just it makes me feel a lot more comfortable and like fitting in and stuff like that. So again, follow Jeff. He was super, super nice, and I love those interactions. And I guess the next convention, what I'd like to do is throw up a I don't know, whatever t-shirt I'm wearing or hat or something like that. And again, I'll walk around with the hat on, but I won't walk around obviously with the sunglasses. I'll take a picture with them and stuff like that. But I'd love to meet more people that other YouTubers, and I don't know if we just follow each other on Instagram and stuff like that, and just so eventually, the first couple conventions that you go to, you start meeting people, and then you start going to more, and then just that casual, nice, like, hey, how's it going? This, that. You just remember seeing somebody and just a quick conversation and stuff like that. So, there's still good people in the world, and that was an awesome interaction, and I hope to see Jeff and his son soon at the next convention. If you were also at Monster Mania this past weekend, drop a comment and let me know who you met. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. You can also check me out on Instagram at MovieMagic1996. Thanks so much for watching, and as always, go watch a movie today.